Right guys, welcome back to a brand new video this week. Been a lot better week this week, back on winning tracks. But I just thought I'd go back through a few stuff from the beginning that I started with. Now back up to plus 18.65 units since July. Just thought I'd let everyone know, when I'm betting units, the one unit is £20 or $20, however you want to look at it like that. I will only ever do a maximum bet of 5 units, so £100. So yeah, I mean, you can follow my trap bets at betmma.tips/RestonMouseMMA. Just remember guys, only bet what you can afford. So if you want to set your unit lower than what I do, obviously do what you can afford. Like I said, the 5 unit will be the maximum bet I prefer to use, and what a lot of pro bettors prefer to use. So yeah, leave me some feedback on this video, give me a like. And again, make sure you follow me on Twitter, get access to all my parlays and prop bets. Right, so let's move on to what's happened at the Sydney card. Yeah, so Frank Camacho, he came in, Frank the Crank, good old macho man. 2.5 units we had on him, minus 125, 45, and that was to win 2 units, so that was a great start. Did think he was going to get the TKO KO, but Damian Brown, he did show a great chin, to be fair, in that fight. It was an awesome fight as well, definitely fight of the night. So yeah, props to them both really for putting on a show, but Camacho did enough to get the split decision. And then the Bojan fight, we had 2 units on him at plus 130, 13-10. Was proper disappointed with that decision. In my opinion, I felt pretty comfortable even when it went to a split. I did feel Bojan would still get 2 of the judges' nods, let's say. But Matthew was obviously hometown, that came through for him. But I do feel Bojan definitely took 2 rounds at least in that fight. It were a bit of a scrappy, poor fight, and I will definitely bet against Jake Matthews again in the future. He didn't look very impressive at all. But the 2 units on Bilal Muhammad, great price, like I said, plus 200, 2-1. That won us 4 units. He put on a pretty good show, to be fair, against Tim Means. Like I said, the volume was key, and ended up taking the decision, which I pretty much predicted. And then the 5 unit double parlay on Vadum and Volkanovski. That was pretty straightforward. Both very dominant decisions from both the guys there. Did think Vadum would definitely get a finish. Also thought Volkanovski would get a finish, to be fair, as well. But both dominant performances from both of those. So yeah, pretty good night on the picks, really. If we go to the next page, you can see the other parlay that I had. Very unlucky that it didn't come in as well. I mean, I had over 2.5 in the Shelton Lauzo fight. That won, went to the decision. The Nadia Kasem and Chambers fight, that went to the decision. So that over 1.5 came in pretty easy. And the Brooks and Lentz, I mean, Brooks was just daft as fuck in that fight, in my opinion. Ended up getting caught in the guillotine, which was pretty much Lentz's only path to victory, in my opinion, the submission. But yeah, Brooks looked very comfortable up until that and just got caught. So it should have really gone to a decision, and Brooks should have comfortably won. So, I mean, he's looking in trouble now, in my opinion. Brooks, he lost, I think, 3 on the bounce. But yeah, I mean, overall, good night. Like I said, back up, 6 units profit for the night. And it now takes us to 18.65 units since July. But like I said, guys, follow me on Twitter or go to the betmma.tips page /RestonMouseMMA. Like I said before, great site. You can check all the guys' bets on there. It's just an awesome place to go. So, right, anyway, on to the straight picks. Right, guys, so the first pick for UFC Fight Night 122, the straight pick will be Zak Ottow. This guy is an underdog, actually, for this fight. I bet 1.5 units on him at plus 150, 6-4, and it's to win 2.25 units. I do like the look of Otto, to be fair. I mean, since he's come to the UFC, he's only ever, I think he's got 3 split decisions, 1 loss and then 2 wins. The 2 he did win, I thought pretty much he'd won 2 rounds definitely, so in my opinion were unanimous, but it's gone down a split, so, you know. But obviously he said in his interviews and that he wants to get back on his winning ways, how he finishes fights. And I mean, I look at this fight with Li Jingliang. He's been knocked down quite a couple of times in his last few fights. And I do like the way Otto fights on his feet. He keeps that distance very, very well. I mean, he's got the kickboxing style that he uses. And he's got quite a few submissions in his locker as well, from what I've seen on old tape. Obviously, he's fighting different pedigree of guys now, moving into the UFC, as we've seen with the split decisions. But, like I said, I feel in this fight, Li Jingliang, his chin, he's been knocked down quite a few times in his last fights. And if I just have a look, I can't remember which couple it was, but... there they are. Yeah, Bobby Nash. Bobby Nash managed to take him to the floor with a decent punch. I mean, Bobby Nash didn't look amazing on his feet, and I think that was his debut as well. And then obviously the Frank Camacho, who rightfully brought us the money home this week. He managed to knock Jingliang down, and he only came in on like 10 days' notice, I think, for that fight. So yeah, I mean, for me, he's a bit sloppy sometimes, Jingliang, and he keeps his head very straight. Sometimes gets out of the way pretty quick, moving backwards. But I do like the look of Otto on his feet. He's very fluent, gets in and out pretty good. And like I said, when I've seen him go to the floor, he's no slouch on the floor. I think he might be able to pull a submission off. There was that time where Nakamura got Jingliang's back and submitted him standing, ended up falling flat on his face. It was a great finish. So yeah, I mean, I do like Otto's chance on this, and he is an underdog again. So after watching tape, I was pretty confident on this. Like I said, only 1.5 units to win 2.25, but I do like Otto in this fight. So he is the first straight pick this week. Right, guys, so second straight pick I've had quite a bit of a bet on this one as well, and it's Muslim Salikhov, new Russian to the roster. Yeah, it's his debut for the UFC, so, I mean, take it as you may, but I am betting 4.5 units on this guy. Got him at -175, 4-7, and it's to win 2.57 units. I have looked at quite a few of his fights, and this guy looks the real deal on his feet. He's the king of kung fu, his nickname. But yeah, from what I've seen, like I said on his tapes, he throws some serious spinning, crazy shit. His kicks are awesome, flying, spinning punches. He looks awesome. But yeah, he's only lost once, and I think it was to a submission, and I think there was a mix-up in the matchup or something, which is a strange little story if you want to have a look into that. But yeah, I mean, you look back at Garcia, who he's fighting. He did get knocked out by Sean Strickland. I mean, Sean Strickland got a lot of knockout wins in his locker, let's say. So yeah, a bit of a strange little thing. And since he's come into UFC, he has won 4, but he's also lost 3. Lost a decision to Magny, obviously the TKO to Strickland, and Tim Means, who recently fought Bilal. Yes, Bilal, lad. But yeah, I mean, it's Garcia's gas tank for me. He's shown over the past few fights. As soon as it gets to the end of second, third round, he's not got a lot left in tank. He tries for the takedown quite a lot, carries a lot of muscle. So if he can get past the first round, I mean, I do think he'll gas anyway. But I do really like the look of Salikhov on his feet. He's, what was it now, I think? Yeah, that was it. Years and years ago, but he entered a King of Sander tournament in Chongqing. Became the first non-Chinese person to win that title, which was pretty impressive. But yeah, like I said, the tape I've watched, his finishes he's got on these guys. Yeah, he's fighting obviously a lower opponents, let's say. And it's obviously a big step up now. He's gone into the UFC, making his debut. But I do feel Garcia, like I said, he's been finished before. So I do feel Muslim will get that finish in this and look pretty impressive. Like I said, Garcia, even if he does manage to get out the early rounds, I do find he will try for the takedowns. He might get one or two. Not seeing a lot of Salikhov off his back. So hopefully if he does go there, he'll definitely work his way up. But I think he's training at ATT now as well. So hopefully they've helped on his ground game, getting back to his feet, and help him get the victory here. So yeah, 4.5 units on Salikhov, and that is to win 2.57 units. Right, so the next pick is the Vanilla Gorilla, Chase Sherman. Absolutely love this guy. Not only on his Twitter, but in the fights that he does, he brawls every time, creates an awesome fight in these heavyweight fights. And every fight I've watched him so far is getting better and better every single fight. Fighting a bit smarter, and as a little bit by that I mean he's not getting hit as much. Still takes a few, but he's got an iron chin, that kid. But yeah, I mean, when you look back at the Coulter fight, for example, absolutely picked him apart with the leg kicks. It was awesome. And then finished him off with that vicious elbow. He just picked him apart. Those leg kicks took his toll. And I feel he's going to use that same tactic against Abdurakhimov in this. Use the leg kicks, keep his distance. Obviously fight the takedowns, because that's how Abdurakhimov going to look to take this fight to the ground. Make the fight boring, as he always does. But yeah, I feel he'll keep his distance pretty well, get the underhooks in there whenever he shoots, because he's pretty quick on his feet, so he never really has to sprawl. Sherman always senses the takedown, gets an underhook pretty quick, and keeps on his feet where he wants the fight to be. But I mean, like I said about Abdurakhimov, you look at his losses, lost to Tim Johnson by TKO, and by Derek Lewis, a late TKO, and even the victories over Hamilton and Walt Harris, just boring fights. He's not a very entertaining fighter, and I feel Chase is going to put that much pressure on him in this fight. He'll knock him out late on, maybe round 2-3. But yeah, like I said, I feel the only way Abdurakhimov is going to win this is going to lay and pray. But like I said, his takedown defence so far has been pretty legit, Chase's, so can't see him having any problems with that, really. I've had 2 units on him at +110, 11-10, and that is to win 2.2 units. So Team Vanilla Gorilla. Right, guys, so again, I'm going to have another parlay bet as my final pick for this week's video. 2-part parlay again, 2 fighters, both very big favourites again. Did expect to get a bit of a better price on Zabit Magomedsharipov. I think I've said that right. What a fucking mouthful that is. But yeah, he's the first part of my parlay. He's fighting Sherman Moraes. It's his debut. He looks a decent fighter, 9-1. He puts up some good tactics on his feet. He's pretty slick with some of his punches, and he throws some pretty cool elbows in there as well. That little stocky dude as well, quite stocky compared to Zabit. He's quite a lanky sort of fighter, Zabit, in this division. But yeah, I feel when you watch them both, I feel he's a little bit slow sometimes, Moraes, whereas Zabit is very quick. And to say he's a skinny dude, I mean, he's got power on his feet. He's finished a lot of his guys. I think Moraes will be his probably biggest test so far. Moraes has fought Marlon Moraes, which is his only defeat. Got submitted, but that again comes back to Zabit's game. I feel his whole game is amazing. He looks like he's going to be a top contender in my eyes, and I figured he'd be a pretty big price. I thought -300, -350, but he's been betting to like -450, I think now. But yeah, I mean, he's looked great all-rounder so far. Absolute brilliant on his feet. And then when he gets it to the ground, his ground game seems legit as fuck as well. He's Got some pretty cool submission finishes. And I feel that's probably where he's going to end up taking this fight. If he can get Moraes to the floor, he'll look to submit him. Like I said, we've seen Moraes get submitted already. I mean, Marlon Moraes is class. Obviously, we've seen him already in the UFC. So I think, obviously, it's hard to say where he is, Zabit, on that level at the minute. But yeah, I feel this is where the fight's going to probably end up for him, on the floor, maybe take his back or get an arm. But yeah, I think I'm going to go for submission, rear naked choke, Magomedsharipov, round 2. But yeah, I mean, he's shown to me already in that one fight I've watched, he's going to be a future contender, this guy. He's got everything, just the whole all-round game he's got. I really like the look of him. So yeah, that's the first part. Got him at -450. And then we'll go on to the second part of the bet. And it is no other than Kelvin Gastelum, ranked number 9 now in middleweight division. I feel Michael Bisping, he's took this fight on very short notice. I mean, he wants to get back in there. He said after the disappointment that was GSP, he felt he were a bit disappointed with how he performed. But I feel it's pretty quick. He got put to sleep with that choke, and he's fighting, 2-3 weeks after. So I'm not sure it should have been cleared, really, for him to fight so soon. But yeah, I mean, Kelvin's proven that he can hang in there with top middleweights, knocking out Tim Kennedy, and finishing Belfort. Obviously, that got overturned to a no contest in the end, because I think it was tested positive for marijuana in the end. Boyo again, another Boyo. Him and Nico Price loving it up on the Ganj. Yeah, I mean, against Weidman, he still knocked Weidman down as well. And I think if he'd have had another minute or so, he probably might have got the finish in that. But yeah, I mean, Weidman, he were a lot bigger, and his wrestling really came into that fight quite a lot. Gastelum is going to struggle with top wrestlers, I think, in this division, just because of the size difference. Find it too easy to take Gastelum down, but he always fights to his feet again. But yeah, I don't think Bisping will look for that tactic, or if he does, I don't think he'll keep him there. And like I said, I think Bisping is slowing down on his feet a little bit now. So yeah, I feel, like I said, it's a bit too quick, in my opinion, that he's come back after that fight. I mean, obviously he's got the cardio, Bisping, to go full 5 rounds, and I think Gastelum has as well. He's shown that he's got very good cardio as of late, and takes his time with his punches, looks for his openings very well. He'll pick the combo, and I think he'll finish Bisping maybe round 3-4. But yeah, I do feel he's definitely going to get finished again in this one, Bisping, which is a shame. But yeah, that's my double parlay that I've had, which is Zabit Magomedsharipov at -450 and Kelvin Gastelum at -300. I've had 4 units on that, and that is to win 2.5 units. So yeah, it's not a lot of profit, but it's decent enough in my eyes to say the 2 massive favourites, and they were my 2 biggest leans on this card. So hopefully we'll get another double parlay coming. Right, so I'll just go over a quick review of what bets we got on this week. 1.5 units on Zak Otto, the Barbarian. Got him at +150, 6-4, and that is to win 2.25 units. Like I say, I think it'll be a pretty close fight, close decision. But I do feel he'll win 2 rounds, maybe 29-28 decision. He's fighting a tough opponent in Leach, probably China's biggest fighter on this card. Well, definite biggest fighter on this card. But yeah, I do feel he's a great underdog price at that. And I feel he'll come out with a victory decision. And then the biggest lean I've had on this card is Muslim Salikhov, new Russian to the division. 4.5 units on him at -175, 4-7. And that is to win 2.57 units. Like I said, I do feel his crazy spinning shit will pull off, and I think he will finish Garcia in this. I think he'll pick his shots wisely as well. Maybe try and catch him with a spinning kick as he's trying to shoot Garcia as well. 'Cause I feel that's what Garcia will try and do in this fight, take him to the floor. But yeah, I feel pretty confident that he'll get the finish in the second round maybe. And then, like I said, the next bet is 2 units on Chase Sherman. Got him at plus 110 or 11 to 10. And that's to win 2.2 units. I do feel Chase will come away with victory in this. I think he'll pressure Shamil too much, use his kicks, get on the inside, and look for the finish. And yeah, that is to win 2.2 units. So yeah, come on Vanilla Gorilla, bring home that TKO, get the finish early doors and bring home the money. And then the last bet again is a double parlay this week. Zabit, Magomedsharipov and Kelvin Gastelum. Like I said, both of these were both my biggest leans this week and knew they were going to be pretty heavy favourites. So put them into the parlay. 4 units on them at minus 159 or 5 to 8, and that is to win 2.5 units. Like I said, I feel both will be victorious. I think Kelvin will get the finish. I do think Zabit might look for a late submission. Like I said, could be a close decision to be fair. But I do feel even if it does go to decision, he might end up having 2 dominant rounds. I think Moraes will probably die off as the fight goes on compared to Zabit's cardio. Zabit looks like he has no problem with that at all. But no, I do fancy his chances to get a submission in this. And that's my picks for this week, guys. I have actually had another straight pick this week. If you want to go on to my betmma.tips/Rastamouse page or follow me on Twitter at RastaMouseMMA, you'll be able to see that other straight pick. It is actually another underdog as well, so it is of some interest. I do feel that one will win as well. So pretty confident this week. Look to have another parlay bet maybe as well. Maybe some over-under bets. So yeah, check those out, guys. And see you next week. Hopefully have another great positive profit week and let the MMA gods look down on us yet again. Cheers, guys. Give us a like and give us a follow. Thank you.